Hi, Eric. I'm Tyson.
I'm Colin.
I'm Ryan.
And I'm Adam.
And we're the Gamesmiths, and we're here to play House Rules with you. And we're going to start by having Ryan give us the rules explanation.
Cool. All right. So, in House Rules, we are having a big melee combat, and we're going to draw a bunch of cards and build defenses and attack each other's defenses, and whoever kind of collects the most, points each round. Basically, whoever can take down the most defenses or successfully defend each round scores the most points. And then once we play until we run out of cards in the rule deck here. And once we're out of cards in the rule deck, we just kind of tally up our points, and whoever wins, wins. So basically what we're going to do is at the beginning of each round, I'm going to pass out 6 combat cards. That's these black ones. So we'll just go ahead and do it real quick so it's an idea. 3, 6, and 2 rules cards to each player. Hey, perfect. Now, each turn, you will start by choosing secretly choose one of your rule cards and place it in the middle face down. So we'll back these decks up a little bit. So everyone's going to put a rules card in the middle face down. And just kind of grab one for now. We're just demoing, so just throw one in. So everyone's going to put a rules card in the middle face down, and then we are going to discard the other rule cards. And kind of throw those guys up here. We'll just form a discard pile and throw those up here. And then you'll look at one of the cards in hand, and choose one of them as your defense. Generally, the higher the number, the better the defense is. But just go ahead and throw one down.
Are these all defense cards?
Try not to. They're just, they're all just weapon cards. So any of these numbers, just kind of pick a card and slap it face down as your defense. And then you're going to reveal the rules to all players, and we're all going to kind of look at what the rules are for this round. And we'll all review the rules. Deuce is wild. All weapons with a value of 2 now have a value equal to the number of defenses in play, up to a maximum of 10. On your turn, you may use your defenses to clash with another player. So normally you attack. So these all just kind of change the rules. I don't really want to get into the specifics of them now, but we're going to look and say, okay, this is how this particular round is going to be different.
Okay.
And then everybody is going to reveal their defense cards by turning them face up.
Oh, you guys are going down.
So there you go.
10?
Destroyer of worlds.
Oh, man. Mine doesn't even say anything.
Mine says flicking your boogers.
Boiling hot slime.
Right? And so 9.
I like that. It's fun.
That's better than my boogers, I suppose. So, all right, there.
Lord of the Dance, literally kicking ass.
There you go. So, Tyson Destroyer
There you
Worlds.
go.
There we go, yeah. There we go. Now you're getting in the spirit. So we do have a lot of customizable cards, including the house rule cards as well. And we will talk about the house rule cards in a second here. But everyone will also get a house rules card that I kind of forgot to hand out. But basically, that's an opportunity for you to make your own rule, and we'll talk about those in a second. So then we decide who goes first, and it's the player with the lowest defense value will take their turn. So I'm 2.
You strategically forgot
I did.
to tell us that.
I told you it didn't matter because this is not for real. So the person who has the lowest
practice rounds.
I do. This is something you should learn: is both the rules and not to mess with me.
Okay.
So, person with the lowest defense value will take their turn. We have some tiebreakers, and the same player may not take take 2 turns in a row. So basically, whoever has the lowest defense plays unless they went last. And then on my turn, I will choose a player with their defenses and attack it with cards out of my hand. And then and we'll keep doing that. If I succeed in doing that, and actually we'll just go ahead and show you what that looks like. So I will play a weapon and choose an opponent's defense to attack. So I'll attack Adam here, and I'll choose my 9. And if the attack value is equal or greater to the defense, then the attack succeeds, and I add both the attack and defense to my stash. And everyone's going to have a little stash here where then they can take the cards and add them to their stash. Any player can use special action cards, which are, I don't know if anybody has, there we go, we got a special action card here like Cheap Shot, that you can play, or there you go, double the attack or value, double the value of the attack or defense. So yeah, Adam would have a chance to play that, or even someone like, well, this one says play specifically when you're attacked, so that's not going to work for him. But this says play during any clash. So even if Adam didn't have it, if I was attacking Colin, Adam could also play this and affect our table. So anyone's allowed to affect anybody's clash and kind of throw down cards, and you're just kind of allowed to throw down all the cards and see who comes out the winner. And then once everybody's settled, which means everybody's kind of done playing special action cards and finished messing with it, we'll settle it. So Adam will say double up his there and win with his defense. So then he'd take my attack card and he would score it. But if he didn't have this and I won, go ahead and take that
Tie
back.
Tie
goes to the attacker. So if no one messed with this, I would win and I would get these 2. And then Adam would get to take a card from his hand and put it down as his next defense. So now he has a 9 to defend. And now we're going to then figure out who goes next.
So in that instance, if you had lost that fight, you could put down another card.
No.
You couldn't.
I wasn't attacked, so I'm not going to be able.
Oh, right.
Right. So now, but since I played, there's no way it can be my turn again.
These are funny. These are really funny.
Right?
Good job.
There you go. Well,
Yeah.
thank you. I didn't write them.
I wasn't
Eric
laughing at
did.
you. I had
Okay.
them. Yeah.
So.
Look at that.
So now, actually, we would figure out who goes next. And since you guys are actually tied for lowest
Pretty
at
good.
9, it goes to the next lowest, which is 10, which is Tyson. So Tyson would actually get to go next. But Adam could have decided that, could have played a lower defense if he wanted to go next.
Okay.
You know, you can look at the defense out there and say, oh, I want to go next, so I'm going to play a lower one. So
Like
I
the
know,
7.
yeah, so you play 7, and then you're guaranteed to go next.
Okay.
So now you get to go next, and then you get to attack a person. And so just pick someone who you think you can beat and play your card, and then everyone can mess with it, and play will kind of proceed like that until everybody is out of cards or everybody passes and chooses not to attack. So you basically go around like that.
So if I didn't have, is there any way to affect Tyson without having my special? If I don't have another Tim, which I'm assuming are pretty rare, is there any way I can play multiple cards?
No.
Or only if I have a special card that lets me do something special? Okay.
Yeah.
So it's just a straight up, like if I want to go after Colin, I can go 9 to 9 there.
Right.
Hopefully he doesn't have something.
Right. Or you can go 9 to 10 and double it if you want to.
And can he do anything to raise his defense?
Only
Right. If he has a
Only
no.
if he has a special card.
Only special
Okay.
cards can interact with it at that point. Yeah.
So it's all
And
really
so-
known information, except they could have
Those
kind of a
special
wild card in
cards.
their game.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Those kind of like. So everybody. So after the clash settles, you place the weapons in the stash underneath your guide, underneath your little thing here, and hold it there until the end of the round. So the rules cards will change how all of that happens. So all weapons with a value of 2 now have a value equal to the number of defenses in play up to a maximum of 10. So now, you know, that, and I didn't even play that, that just made my 2 way. So there are things that like you'll know some of those game affecting. You'll know one of these rules and kind of can play your first defend card around it, but you don't know what everybody else is
Now,
going to do.
in this instance, if it affects like your 2 and makes this worth everybody's combined, does that still give you the ability to attack first?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
And we can look at that. So there are a few cards, and we'll talk about the special action cards here actually. So there's a few. There's a miss card you can play during any clash. The attack fails, and the defender puts the attack in their stash. There's the time 2 card that Adam has there, which doubles something. There's a combo, which you can play during a clash. You draw a card, and if you draw a weapon, you add that value to the attack or defense. So that helps, but it's it takes a card. There's cheap shot. When you're being attacked, you draw a weapon and clash with your opponent using that drawn weapon at 2 times value. Their attack is unaffected. So that basically gives you double whatever you flip up here, and that's what they're attacking instead of the 10. But you probably wouldn't do that on a 10. There's a nuke. You can play that during any clash and blow it up, and everything is just discarded that's involved with it, and it just like ends the clash. And then there's break the game, which is play at any time and put any active rule in the discard pile or nullify any special action card as it is played. So it's like a counter. So you can either use it to destroy a rule. So if you're, I've got my Deuces Wild that's making this huge, but you want to come after me, you can say break the rule, discard this Deuces Wild. Now I'm back down to a 2, and you can come after me. Or if I had tied with Adam there, he doubled it, and then Adam says put the doubler on there to beat Ryan. I can say nope, break the game, stop your doubler, still tied, I win.
Okay.
And when can...
So the house rules cards are, you can propose house rules at the beginning of the round instead of using a printed rule card. When a house rule card is revealed, it requires the approval from at least one other player before it goes into effect. And if the house rule fails to get support, it's erased and discarded. Each player can propose only one house rule per game, so make it count. And the only real limitation to house rules is that it may not impact the score of any player or how points are scored. So you can't make a rule that says take 5 points away from Adam, or you can't make a rule that says all points this round are doubled or something like that. So you can only generally, whatever, you can, it's clear from the game that we can make them as silly as we want, but they just can't affect those 2 things. So the tips here that they have are good rules are simple and clearly written. Easily understood rules have the best chance of approval. Great rules have consequences for those who fail to follow them. When creating a rule, write them for your audience. A little politicking goes a long way in getting your rule voted into the game. And if a house rule becomes problematic, a majority vote can remove it at any time.
Okay.
So a game is just until all the cards are out of our hand then?
So we're going to play until we're out of... Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's
So
right.
we play until we're out of our hand. So yeah, we'll go back to...
Out of
But
the
do
rules
the rules change every time we run out of cards in our hand as well?
Yeah. So after all of that happens, we end the combat round. So the round is over if only one player has cards remaining in their hand or all players pass their turn. If you have defenses remaining, place them in your stash and discard any cards that remain in your hand. Then all players count up how many weapons they've had collected in their stash and score 1 point for each. So if you had that doubler in here, that doesn't count for points. You just count the weapon cards, which are the sword and shield watermarks.
So that's only 2 points.
Right. So
that's
2
not
points.
18
Correct.
of whatever.
Correct. So the value of the points. So coming after me and taking my 2 is just as valuable as taking your 9. 2 lets you go first. 9's harder to take. So it's a balance. So
it's kind of tricky taking them.
yeah.
I mean, it's not quite there, but it can be borderline.
Add your score for the round to your player in the front of your guide. So everyone here is going to just write their score here. So there's a little scoreboard for everybody to see what's going on. And if you notice, you have house blank. So when we start the game, you're going to need to choose, your house name for whatever your house name is there. So think of a fun team name for yourself. And then we add up a score for the round, write the new number down, and then start a new round from the preparation step, which means shuffle up or discard all of those and put down new rules, draw new cards, new rules, all that stuff. So
Okay, so combat round being over means we've all taken a combat action.
it means either yes, either or everyone's passed. So you can all pass without have taken a combat action,
So we keep going until everyone's out of cards,
Except
or
for
until
one
everyone
person, yes.
passes.
or until everyone passes.
That's when new rules slip.
Yeah.
And when the rules
And
deck
so
is gone,
actually-
game is over. Is that true?
Yes. Well, it does not say. It does not say, actually, let me see here. Round is over. Blah, blah, blah. Discard any cards remaining in your hand. So it does not say that you discard the rule cards at the end of each round. Which makes me.
What ends the game?
What ends the game is this being out, but there's nothing in the rules that said the rules in play
Remove.
are removed. So I think it's the rules are supposed to get
They're just gonna
increasingly
compound.
complex until the
So
So we're
game
gonna
is
have,
over.
Like, a million different.
So either we're going to have a
rules.
bunch of rules,
I don't
or
think
we're going to
it'll
have
work
to
like that if you
discard
only
them
start with 4,
all
though.
each
Well,
time.
there are some effects
36
that you can
rules by
knock
the
them
end
out.
of the game. It doesn't say that you discard rules.
There are ways to discard rules. Like the break the game
Yeah.
cards will discard any rule in play, but there's nothing here that specifically says at any time discard all the rules. So end of combat, you put any remaining defenses into your stash, you discard your hand, discard any cards remaining in your hand, add up how many weapons you have in your stash, and score 1 point for each, and then add your score to the round, and then start over from the preparation phase. And there's nothing anywhere that says you throw out the old rules. The preparation phase just says everybody adds 1 rule to the center.
Well, I mean,
Are
So,
we going to play both ways?
I mean, there
You
are
need
cards. I don't
36
know.
cards.
I say we
It
go.
won't.
Well, because you're only
Because
going to
you're
play
gonna
with half
discard
of them.
half
Half
of
of them are going to get discarded
Why?
Because you always
because you
discard
play
one.
one, discard one each turn.
I mean, if you think about it, the game
A
is
rule?
called House
Yeah,
Rules.
everybody's going to
So
get dealt
it's
two rule cards each turn,
and you
and you
discard
pick
one.
one
Seems
and
to be
discard
about
the other.
changing the rules.
So not all of them, right?
Interesting.
And I think that makes sense based on what you said about only being able to use your ride in house rule one time.
Yeah.
So that can stick around for the entire
So
game
that's
then.
even another one.
So-
So if you think about it, 36 divided by 4, that's 9 rules we're going to put into play each.
You could
and-
write a rule that says
Or no, wait,
discard all the rules.
That's not even it, because we're going to get 2 each time.
You're just gonna
So-
just cut it in half.
It's
Yeah.
tough, yeah.
Yeah, but then
I
we're
mean,
going
you
to...
can write a rule that says get rid of X amount of rules.
Well, no, there are cards that allow you to get rid of rules. So depending
So
on
you're
how
right.
many
But
cards...
I'm saying, yeah, your own write-in, you can do whatever you want and
Right.
True.
double it or get stuff back or.
Okay, let's just play that and keep building up.
Yeah.
If there's a rule dispute regarding the rules, just ask your crazy Uncle Ivan to settle it.
Right.
Are you Uncle Ivan?
I don't know.
How
I have
do
an
we settle
uncle.
a dispute in the rules? We just vote, probably.
Yeah, I don't
And
know.
then if we have a conflict in the rules, we'll just figure it out then later.
Or it just goes to my favor. That's kind of my
Because
vote.
you're the youngest.
Yep. So I think that
Seriously.
the intention is to have the rules add up over time, and I'm sure we're going to see because there are cards that let you just remove rules from play.
Right.
So we'll play through, but I think we should play through keep letting them build up time after time. So
Me too.
there is our rules explanation, and hope we got it right. But you're about to find out what happens when we don't get rid of the rules each time.